to AJ to beat Usyk is get straight on him, all out attack, head and body, use your size and strength, and get him out of there. But you have to have big balls to do that. And AJ doesn't have the stamina to do that sort of thing, because if he does a sustained attack for 2 rounds, he needs 4 rounds to recover again. And one thing we've seen with AJ before is that he will quit in a second if he's under the pressure. It's like a cheap cushion that you get from a cheap shop. It just falls apart at the seams when it's under pressure. And that's what happens sometimes. And, you could see that here. And if it does, it costs me like maybe $100 million.
No kidding. Hey guys, what's up? Strike Ninja here, and just yesterday we saw the fight between Anthony Joshua and Oleksandr Usyk, and it ended up in an upset with Usyk winning. And I'm joined with Chef Drecko here, and both of us thought that Usyk would win by unanimous decision, which is what ended up happening. But I think what surprised us was that Usyk, he ended up pulling more of a one-sided fight than many thought. AJ clearly struggled a lot with Usyk, given that Usyk is a southpaw stance fighter, which AJ has not fought ever since Charles Martin.
AJ was also not even able to use his power punches, such as the uppercut, considering that Usyk did pivots, which is something that AJ is definitely not used to.
As soon as the fight began, Usyk dove straight in, and given that AJ is a slow starter, Usyk took advantage of that and took the lead. For the first 3 rounds, Oleksandr Usyk did outbox Anthony Joshua. However, by round 4, it seemed like Usyk was a little bit fatigued. However, he did fight through the fatigue, and in the end, he did end up winning most of the rounds. And now that Usyk has become the unified heavyweight champion, this has sent a ripple effect throughout all the mega fights in the heavyweight division. And this could affect our chances of seeing an AJ versus Fury fight, and what would happen if Fury and Usyk had a mega fight.
AJ to beat Usyk is get straight on him, all out attack, head and body, use your size and strength, and get him out of there. But you have to have big balls to do that. And AJ doesn't have the stamina to do that sort of thing, because if he does a sustained attack for 2 rounds, he needs 4 rounds to recover again. And one thing we've seen with AJ before is that he will quit in a second if he's under the pressure. It's like a cheap cushion that you get from a cheap shop. It just falls apart at the seams when it's under pressure. And that's what happens sometimes. And, you could see that here. And if it does, it costs me like maybe $100 million.
I get it. With Usyk now as the new unified heavyweight champion, a fight between him and Tyson Fury is not out of the realm of possibility of fights that could potentially happen in the future.
Tyson Fury himself was even in the stadium watching the fight. He even measured up Usyk and did not seem totally disappointed by the loss, if not even enjoyed.
Now that Usyk has won, many people are jumping on the Usyk hype train, and this has caused us to think what would happen in a potential match between Fury and Usyk. Given that Fury does have an upcoming fight with Deontay Wilder, it's not out of the realm of possibility that if Fury does win that fight and Usyk wins the rematch, what if these two were to clash? Before the Anthony Joshua fight, many people were sleeping on Usyk and did not give him a shred of a chance against any heavyweight. Back in 2020, Oleksandr Usyk fought Derek Chisora, and a lot of fans overlooked his performance in that fight. Chisora wanted a dogfight in the pocket, he wanted to fight up close, however Usyk played it safe, kept his distance, moved around, stayed active, and used the jab to stay away. In a recent interview, Tyson Fury suggested a similar strategy to what Chisora tried to do in his fight with Usyk, and pretty much suggested that AJ should fight on the front foot and that he should unload on Usyk. However, personally, I do not believe that this is a good strategy, given that Usyk is good at fighting off the back foot.
However, we think that plan might actually be a pretty bad idea, considering that Usyk made his entire career off fighting on the back foot. Now, Usyk can apply pressure, but his footwork shines when he's the one getting pressured.
Now moving on to Tyson Fury versus Oleksandr Usyk, we are going to be discussing how the fight would potentially go down and who we think would win in this fight.
Tyson Fury, one of the most slick boxers in heavyweight division, as well as one of the biggest. The man is from UK and is practically Britain's pride besides Anthony Joshua. He is no sleepover, and people consider him possibly the number 1 ranked in all of heavyweight. How would Usyk fare against him? Tyson Fury so far is going on a rampage in the heavyweight division and is currently ranked number 1. He has defeated so far people such as Deontay Wilder, Otto, Tom, and even the Klitschko.
Tyson Fury is currently one of the best heavyweights out right now. Fury is very quick, he's composed and got great movement, and while he might not be the heaviest hitter, he is certainly the most slick boxer in the heavyweight division.
Tyson Fury, even though he's known as a slick boxer and can keep his distance, he seems to want to have a game plan of pressuring Usyk, as well as Deontay Wilder. Now, Usyk can handle pressure, but can he handle the pressure from Tyson Fury? Tyson Fury does not have exactly the best reputation when it comes to power, but the man does have some damaging hands, as you've seen from Deontay Wilder.
When it comes to Usyk, I think Tyson Fury is downplaying him severely. Given that Tyson Fury has not fought an opponent with as good footwork as Usyk, Fury has never fought anyone who can sidestep and pivot as well as Usyk can, and he would have a hard time struggling with Usyk's movement around the ring. However, the same can be said for Usyk. Usyk has not fought anyone with the size and stature of Tyson Fury, and the closest thing that he has had is Anthony Joshua.
Usyk is one of the most smartest boxers in the sport, and I'm pretty sure you can do enough film study to find a loophole to get around his size.
However, even with this, prior to the Anthony Joshua fight, Usyk has shown that he is able to deal with heavyweights. As he's shown in the Olympics, he was able to not only outbox but knock down Russo, who was the one that defeated Wilder in the Olympics. Fury struggled with Wilder and has also underestimated Usyk, especially when he said that Joe Joyce would walk through Usyk, which ended up not happening.
Like Tyson Fury, Usyk does not exactly have the best reputation when it comes to power. However, he did have Anthony Joshua wobbling a couple of times, and not many boxers have been able to do that. Just to name a few, Andy Ruiz, Dylan White, and Klitschko. And they're all powerhouses, so having Usyk's name next to them is already a sign that the man can have power and is actually underrated when it comes to the power department. However, Tyson Fury might actually be downplayed in the same department. He gave Wilder the whooping of his life and actually gave him what most people considered career-ending injuries. Even as well to his new coach, Malik Scott, who has confirmed that he got his eardrum busted by Tyson Fury in a sparring match.
As we have seen, it is fair to say that Usyk is a more accurate puncher than Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury's strategy is a counter-punching strategy. However, how will you counter someone that doesn't miss? Steve Cunningham is proof that a cruiserweight has power enough to knock down Tyson Fury, as he has shown in the past.
One of the things that make Usyk the most accurate puncher in the heavyweight and cruiserweight division is that he is a southpaw, which is the minority. It is really one of the reasons why he kept on catching Anthony Joshua. He knows how to use his footwork to get the outguard and slips easily. Can he give Tyson Fury the same treatment in case he tries to use his reach? I think so.
Now to the final topic as to who would win between Fury and Usyk and how the fight would go down. To start, I think that many knockdowns are possible. However, I don't think either of them have the power to knock each other out. Both these two have shown that they have fight in them like no other, and that they are willing to compete till the end. The Wilder fight is a prime example of how he is able to overcome adversity and how he basically got up from that. And with Usyk, despite getting many stitches and scars, Usyk kept his composure, kept his technique and his form until the very end, and stick to the game plan.
Now, the Anthony Joshua fight is kind of an outlier. Usyk is usually a slow starter, so I do believe that the early rounds would possibly be his most dangerous. However, if it does manage to pass round 5, I do see this going to the judges.
With this, both Chef Drecko and I believe that Usyk would win off of unanimous decision, and the reason why we think that is because Usyk has a more of a larger variety of experiences, while most of Tyson Fury's opponents, if not all, are all brawlers. By far, Anthony Joshua did have a better resume than Fury. On Fury's resume, there isn't anyone that can really box except for maybe Klitschko, and it'd be hard to tell how Fury would deal with Usyk's sidesteps and Usyk's ability to box overall. I feel like Usyk is a very slick fighter, and that many people are overlooking his skills. So between me and Chef Drecko, I think we both believe that Usyk will take this fight. However, this video is assuming that Wilder does lose the trilogy fight. If not, then yeah. But that's gonna do it for today's video on Fury versus Usyk. Thank you guys so much for watching, and let us know who do you think would win and how do you think they would win and which round, or would it be a decision? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for the support on the recent videos. Really appreciate it. Have a great day, guys. Take care. And is this a fight you want to see? Let us know in the comments. Take care and peace out.